Morning light cuts through my kitchen windows, striping the floor and unpacked boxes. I cling to a coffee mug and sort the mail, acting like routine can anchor me here. The certified envelope sits apart. I tear it open. Evelyn and Grant Harlow v. Nora Harlow. My fingers go numb. The mug slips and shatters. Coffee bleeds into the grout while the papers tremble in my hands. The demand is crisp and brutal. Transfer of my home and $300,000 in damages. My parents are suing me. 2 weeks ago I signed for this house. Keys in my palm, the first thing I'd ever bought without anyone's help. I celebrated alone. Takeout and a glass of champagne. Walking empty rooms and naming them in my head. Office, guest room, garden. On video, I showed Grandpa the living room. "I did it," I said. He smiled, eyes shining. "You sure did, sweetheart." The first crack appeared when I told my parents. Their faces on FaceTime tightened. My sister Lila hovered behind them with a designer purse and a look I didn't want to read. "How many bedrooms?" Mom asked. 3 and a yard. Dad frowned. "That's a lot of money." Lila leaned in, smile sharp. "Must be nice." Mom's eyes flicked to her. "You know your sister's been having a rough time." I shrugged it off. Jealousy, I thought, not danger. Now the pages prove otherwise. Lila's email is attached, like evidence in a crime. I stole her chance. My aunt's signature sits on the funding statement beneath it. My throat closes until I can't swallow. Still, my hand finds my phone. If anyone can keep me from folding, it's Grandpa. I hit call and listen for the ring to become a lifeline. Grandpa picks up on the first ring. "They're trying to take your house," he says. "Nora, don't sign anything. Don't answer their attorney. I'm coming." His truck pulls up fast. He walks in with a dented cardboard box and sets it on my counter. Inside are folders, statements, checks, emails, labeled in my grandmother's neat hand. "They did this to your cousin Miles," Grandpa says, dropping into a chair. "When his shop finally made money, your parents claimed he owed them for family investment. He paid to end it. It never ends." My phone buzzes with my mother's name, then my father's, then Aunt Ramona's. I let them ring themselves into silence and open my laptop. I build a spreadsheet until my eyes sting. Pay stubs, rent receipts, tuition, every transfer into the savings account that became my down payment. On a second tab, I list what my parents covered for Lila. Tuition, trips, a failed studio. Near 2 a.m., I find the line that freezes me. Ramona to my parents. "Teach Nora a lesson before she gets too independent. Control then, not love." The next day, I go to the courthouse with a Pro Se motion in Grandma's old leather document case. The clerk stamps it, flips through my exhibits, and gives a small nod. "Preliminary hearing in 4 weeks," she says. 4 weeks. I walk out lightheaded but moving. On the drive home, I schedule a locksmith, order cameras, and start labeling binders. That evening, my neighbor, Mrs. Kendall, knocks with a fern. "Welcome," she whispers. An hour later, my supervisor calls about an anonymous complaint. I request leave and keep sorting. 4 weeks later, the courthouse smells like floor wax and anxiety. Grandpa's leather case digs into my palm as I pass my parents and their lawyer, Evelyn with wet lashes, Grant rigid, Lila glittering and bored. In court, their attorney talks about family obligation and waves a printout of child-rearing costs. The judge asks for a contract, a promissory note, anything binding. Silence. I stand. "Your Honor, I have exhibits." I move through my tabs, pay stubs, tuition receipts, rent ledgers, the automatic transfers that built my down payment. I show the empty line where their support should be, then the crowded pages where Lila's help lives. Loans paid, studio funded, vacations reimbursed. Last comes Ramona's email. "Teach Nora a lesson before she gets too independent." Judge Serrano reads, expression flattening. "This case has no legal merit," she says. "A house bought by one adult belongs to that adult." Her pen signs. Dismissed with prejudice. The air outside tastes different, like rain before it falls. Grandpa grips my shoulder. "Come on, kid. Home." That night, the new camera pings. Ramona's silver sedan stops at my curb. She steps onto my porch with a paint can, sees the lens, and recoils. The footage saves itself, clean as truth. At opening bell, I file for a restraining order using that clip. When the clerk stamps it, something in me settles. I go back to my kitchen, sweep up the last dried coffee stain, and finally unpack the box labeled Future. I leave the porch light on for me, and for what comes next.